Welcome to Basketball Business and Boss Moves, the ultimate destination for insights on the intersection of sports, entrepreneurship, and strategic thinking. Today's guest on Basketball Business and Boss Moves is a powerhouse of innovation, impact, and intellect. Robin Stewart is not only a visionary in the tech world, but also a living example of how dedications to one's craft can truly change lives. Robin earned his Bachelor of Science degree with a concentration in math and science studies from Old Dominion University, followed by a master's in education, a foundation that laid the groundwork for an extraordinary career. But this isn't just about academics. Robin has taken his expertise far beyond the classroom. He's a trailblazer in the world of technology, holding 5 United States utility patents in the fields of sensing technology for smart medical systems and smart transportation. As the co-founder of Dirac Links, Robin has made waves by forming groundbreaking strategic partnerships with George Mason University and Novant Health, working to develop a cutting-edge mental health and physical well-being monitoring platform. By combining innovation and compassion, he's helping bridge the gap between technology and the human experience. But Robin's genius doesn't stop there. He continues to immerse himself in the ever-evolving wireless landscapes and the interconnected world of smart devices, staying on the front line of tech advancements. Yet the most inspiring part, Robin's commitment to using technology to enrich the lives of others. Whether it's creating tools to improve health outcomes or reshaping industries through innovation, his mission is clear: to leave the world better than he found it. In this episode, we dive deep into Robin's journey, his breakthroughs, the lessons he's learned in business, and how he's leveraging technology to make a real difference. Trust me, this conversation is packed with wisdom, insight, and major boss moves you don't want to miss. As an entrepreneur, what are some of the biggest challenges you faced in bringing Dirac Links to market, and how did you overcome them?
First and foremost, when you have an idea, it's just that, it's an idea. So you're going to have to test your ideas. You're going to have to do research. You're going to have to do a lot of groundwork, a lot of digging. And then at the same time, if you have something that's different and that doesn't exist, then you not only have to do the research, but you also got to start doing the engineering and filing for intellectual property or IPs, because you don't want someone to just come along and copy your stuff. So that being said, there are many pitfalls. You're going to have contracts, and the word con is very serious in contracting, because I've lost thousands of dollars from potential contractors, and I've had to scrape my knees and my shoulders and get back up and keep going. And at the same time, too, as I said, we're fighting the Goliaths. There's the Apples, the Samsungs, the Androids. I mean, Google. You have so many other platforms out there, but they put people in a cookie cutter mode, where our platform is individualized and is guided towards a technology and a psychology that brings people together, that brings positive psychology using like the PERMA model together. And that within itself, and trying to incorporate that into our particular platform, is extremely different. And being different, sometimes people are, they're apprehensive, but then at the same time too, they want to see what you have so that they can, vet whether or not they want to become a part of it. So you know what you have, so you have to continuously keep promoting, keep pushing it, putting it out there, and letting people see exactly what it is that you're doing and showing that it's worth it.
Okay. Now, since the genesis of this, when I spoke to you originally about Dirac Links many years ago, there's been this explosion in technology called AI. Mm-hmm. And how has AI changed Dirac Links' vision for the future?
So that's how you know God was in it. AI was already included in it. We already had machine learning, and machine learning is a subset of AI. So the platform, like I said, it's intended to. So imagine if you have smart device in your house and you have a humanoid. I mean, and we're going to get to that point. I tell people we're not too far from the Jetsons. So if you have a robot or something that's dispensing your medicine and is coming to you, imagine that it's reactive to you based off of your emotional state, how you feeling, your biometrics, and maybe it detected that your temperature's off, maybe you fail, maybe your heart rate is giving you palpitations, and then your robot comes. So we already had that in play to connect to assistive technology, smart technology, machine learning, and humanoids. So in the event that as we see this scaling, I try to think of it not the next 5 years, but the next 10 years or the next 20 years. Where would our technology be? That's what we had already envisioned, an AI interconnected platform that's smart and holistic and inclusive, that's including the whole environment.
Okay. Out of all the AI platforms, which one is probably the most conducive to direct links, or the easier to connect to direct links that you see in the future?
Believe it or not, a lot of the AI has been based off of like LLMs or large language models. They're just getting to the stage of, can I connect my large language models to my outside infrastructure? Can I connect it to the individual? We're just getting that. We're just getting to that now. So I say that we have some partners overseas that we're working with, but right now the field is really open. It's really open, and we're going to see, and we're vetting as well on who we think is best to work with. But we do use AI in our models now. As a matter of fact, we use some subsets of ChatGPT and also with our imagery as well, because like I said, the images that we create, if an individual wants to be that pianist and they see themselves playing in front of a huge hall, we'll give them that image of them doing that and remind them in those moments where they feel defeated or tired or worn out, because our technology is forward thinking in that sight to give that individual what they need when they need it.
Okay. How do you want direct links to be perceived in the wearable tech industry space 5 years from now?
You know what? I really haven't thought about the perception and the legacy of the company as of yet. I just want to be able to help people. I want it to be purposeful. I want it to bring joy. I want it to bring purpose into what individuals need. So when we created the platform to help and to help uplift and to help bring about a positive mindset and a positive solution for forward thinking, if it's thought of in that light, that hey, this really helped me, then we did our job. So that's pretty much the perspective that we want people to have.
Sometimes, the challenges or obstacles we face in life can be depressing, confusing, and often overwhelming. Navigating through our personal challenges, emotions, or ruminating thoughts don't have to be as difficult. Thanks to Dirac Link. Dirac Link LLC creates wearable platforms that provides the ultimate connection between a wearer's emotional well-being, personal goals, and their immediate physical surroundings. Let's take a look at Robin's smartphone as he looks on his Dirac Links application. While riding on public transportation, he noticed an unhelpful thought about his upcoming presentation creeping into his mind, causing him to feel both emotionally and physically uncomfortable. His device is paired. He can see the history of the moments his emotional and physical status changed due to triggers. As he becomes more aware of his emotions, his normal levels move out of range. The unhelpful thought remained. When he typed in his increasing pulse rate, along with the intensity of the episode, he knew the abnormal levels would trigger an alert. Let's watch.
Hello, Robin. I see your levels are a little high. Let's try some breathing exercises to get your levels back to normal. You ready? Let's take a deep breath in. Hold it. And exhale. Let's repeat this a few times. You got this. Remember, focus on your breathing and what's most important.
That quick intervention was what Robin needed. Now he can get back to focusing on more helpful thoughts and the purpose of his commute. But wait, we're not done. We have only touched the surface of what Dirac Link's wearable system will do. Get ready. Whether you're in your connected smart vehicle or your smart home, Dirac Link's forward-thinking technology is paving the way in creating an individual's immediate comforting response environment based on what makes them feel most calm, relaxed, and able to self-regulate safely and quickly. Meet Anna. She lives alone and often struggles with panic attacks. These panic attacks often affect her balance and is accompanied with labored breathing. Wearing the Dirac Link's bands in her connected smart home enables Anna to change the lighting to a comforting hue. Let's watch as her home reacts to her emotional state and biometrics. Nice. Her stress levels are decreasing, as the smart devices in her home were set to respond to the settings that's most conducive to her relaxation. In addition to smart thermostats, smart door locks, and smart diffusers, Dirac Link's biometric immersion platforms has just begun to touch the surface in creating the ultimate connection between the individual, their immediate environment, and the ones they care about the most. For more information, please email info@diraclinks.com.
Now, I listen to a lot of startup business podcasts, and there's different types of startup entrepreneurs. There are some who it's their baby, and they're never ever going to sell it. There's some who they already have a prescribed amount that they're looking for. And then there's some who say, I'll sell it, but I'll have to sell it to someone who is going to take care of it and steward it. Which category do you fall in? Do you have a prescribed amount, and then once you sell it, you're out? Or do you have are you looking for someone to buy it that you know is going to take care of it? Or are you never going to sell it just because this is your baby and you could never let it go?
Well, I mean, as of now, I have 8 issued utility patents, right?
Okay.
But I have like several others that are pending. Okay, so I say all that to say, where God gives you that vision, you got to move forward and you got to make that happen. I think everybody, I won't say everyone, I'm speaking for myself. Everyone, and in my circle, we all have a price.
Right.
There's a price tag, but I haven't thought of that number. I just want to see this into fruition first. I want to benefit so many people, and then if the right number comes along, I think everybody has a number where you want to see yourself succeed and profit and be blessed from it, so that you could be a tremendous blessing to others. So, being put in that position, that's one of those, why wouldn't you, take the offer type situation. So, yeah.
Okay. Now, are there specific ways that people can engage with Dirac Links who've not bought the technology yet, where they can see trials and demos and discounts?
Yeah, so right now, and what we're doing every month, we're putting on a monthly seminar, and it's for users and non-users. You can actually Google us, and if you Google Dirac Links LLC, you'll see on the press release, you can see the videos of how it works, how you're able to see your vision board, how you're able to record where you are emotionally, and check your levels. Because as I stated, there are so many platforms that are out here, and they're fitness platforms, wearables, and they tell you about the activities that you're doing. But this is one of the first holistic platforms that takes your cognitions of how you thought, how you're thinking, your actions as well as your emotions, and we're able to measure the frequency, the duration, as well as the as far as the level of it or the intensity of it, and then on top of that, to give you what you have created, you and the Rock Links team created together, to say, you know what, this is what I need to feed my inner spirit, to feed my inner soul of positivity, to help me get my mindset off of what's negative and to move towards what's positive. So yeah, it definitely Google us or email us at info@therrocklinks.com, and we'll be more than happy to put together a demo, or you can watch our reels that are on Google right now.
Now, where's the Rock Links? Where are the wearable technologies manufactured at?
Right now, we have an overseas manufacturer. We do part of the assembly here, but the manufacturing is done overseas. There aren't too many manufacturers in the United States that do digital platforms, so mostly everyone is either in China or Japan or what have you. So we have a really good partner that's actually in China right now, and it's where we are right now. So that's where the hardware is being done right now.
Now, some people, when they have sent technology overseas to China,
Yeah.
they've had concerns where trademarks and patents
Right.
were not respected, and technology was duplicated or cloned, and
Right.
next thing you know, you have a competitor from China with the exact same markup. Have you seen or experienced any of that?
I see it all the time, and there's some secret to the sauce that I have not revealed yet. But right now, with our partner, excuse me, they have one aspect of what we're doing. They don't have the entire gumbo. So if gumbo is a dish, they have one part of the hardware, but we have our development piece. So there's a lot that goes into it. There's a hardware side, then there's the cloud side, and then there's the operational side of how it functions. Because the wearables themselves, as I'm wearing right now, I can make phone calls on this. Everything is connected cellular. I could be without my laptop or my phone, and it still can connect, and it can ring and ping and let me know that I'm going through something. So there are multiple things that we try to separate so that we can actually save the IP of what we're doing.
That's very wise. That's
Yeah.
very wise. My
Yeah.
dad grew up on a sugarcane plantation, and what he learned is that the people who manufactured sugar, they would have the different elements of the manufacturing process spread out
Exactly.
among the
So-
different islands, so that
it's
no
not all
one
done
person
there,
could
yeah. Can
duplicate
replicate
it. So
duplicate exactly what they're doing. Exactly, brother. Yeah.
information is power.
Yes,
Information
it
is
is.
power.
Yes, it is.
How has the incoming tariffs, or how will the incoming tariffs impact the Rock Links?
I think it's going to impact everybody. So us, it's probably going to hit us. It's going to hit us. But right now we haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
And for I believe it's 20%. So we'll find out. And then we'll have to pivot accordingly. But my hope is that we get the word out, get enough customers, enough customer base, and see if we can do it there. And I mean, I'm 100% open if it's said that, hey, we can actually create some type of development here in the U.S. as well. But I think we're pretty close with our partners in China, so we'll see how it goes. And right now, I don't think a lot of people realize that. And I think the president said himself, like, we are dependent on a lot of products from China. And I don't think within the amount of time of his presidency that we would see all of those products that are being manufactured overseas manufactured in the United States. 4 years is definitely not enough time to come even close to manufacturing such a huge product line of things that we're doing.
Now, this is an in the weeds entrepreneurial question. How did you find your partners in China, and how did you know that they could be trusted to provide quality products?
It just so happens that, I've started speaking a little bit of Chinese, so I'm working on my Chinese, still learning. I'm always learning. And I have a partner who's also from China.
Okay.
And that being said, you got to do your due process. You got to do your vetting. And then there's a list that America has that they tell you who you can't do business with. So you have all those factors in play. And it is trial and error. So I would say I probably vetted and went through maybe 5 companies before I met the one that I'm working with now. So it's a process. You got to definitely do your work. You got to be willing to travel. You got to be willing to make those phone calls. And trust me, my business hours sometimes they start at 12 a.m. because we had a 12-hour difference. So, or sometimes they start at 8, and I'm on the phone until like 3 in the morning. So.
Wow. How many times have you had to travel to China?
Oh, right now it's just it's just online vetting, all this other stuff. I'm fortunate that my partner, he goes and he's now a professor in China. So now, yeah, so we're good there. But he'll come back here, his family's still here, and then go back or what have you. So yeah, we're there.
So with this interview, Brother Quest, is there anything that I have missed or you wish that we could have spoken about, or any question that I have not asked that you wish that I did ask?
Yeah. So one of the main drivers as to why I created this technology was losing a really close friend. I'll call him David because of his family and everything that has happened, but he was my neighbor, he was my workout partner, and he was a really dear friend. And having already had several patents under my belt, designing sensors and everything like that, one day, let me tell you the story. One day I was walking in my neighborhood and I saw my friend and I said, I put him aside. I was like, hey, how you doing? And he was like, yeah, man, I'm just, trying to get my head together. And he was telling me about a cigar lounge that had opened up from up the street from me. And I was like, yeah, I was thinking about going to a cigar lounge, just take a look. I was just curious to see what it's like. And he says, yeah, it's a cigar lounge, but, it's like, yeah, I'm just looking at it, just thinking about it. He was like, man, they got some cool stuff there. And then he went on to tell me about him, looking at a place to rent out and everything like that. Now, mind you, his wife and his family, they lived up the street from me. We go to the gym, we spar, laugh, do all types of stuff together. I mean, really, really great all around guy. And he was telling me about a situation that he was going through, but I didn't think that situation was warrant or bad enough that, he would, where I saw that he was going through trouble. So I'll say a week passed by, 2 weeks passed by, and I noticed I hadn't seen my friend. And then what I did was I got a nail in my tire. So the place that actually repaired nails was right next to the cigar lounge. So I went to the cigar lounge, and while I was getting my tire, I was waiting in line to get my tire repaired. And I went to the cigar lounge, and the gentleman asked me, once I went in the door, he said, hey, can I help you? And I was like, no, I'm just looking because my buddy, we'll call him Dave, my buddy Dave was telling me about this, this lounge. And he said, your buddy Dave? And I was like, yeah. He was like, Dave who lived up the street? And I was like, yeah, Dave. And he was like, Dave is dead. And my heart just sank because I had just spoken with my friend. We always talked about life and what we were looking forward to, and we talked about family. We had so many things that him and I had talked about that I was in a state of shock. So he showed me the picture, definitely was him, and I left that shop, just asking myself why, and telling myself, knowing that all suicides are preventable, but also telling myself that if Dave would have known, and if Dave would have talked about or had someone to talk to about the certain things that we talked about regarding life and our future, I know he wouldn't have done it. So that became part of the genesis of well, can you put a person's vision board in there? Can you put a person's goal and their vision or what they're trying to become? Can you put that in there so that they can see and be reminded in times when they're not at their best, or times when they're feeling like the world is against me, and how can I actually achieve this, and know that they have a support group for them. So that's probably one of the main genesis that I have, that I wanted to emphasize with that story.
Well, hopefully you can continue to bring the Rock Links to life so that many other Daves can have a different future.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, Brother Quest, for all that you do and for all that you are bringing forth for all of our future.
And thank you.